With the 2022-23 NBA season well in the rearview mirror, I think there's no better time to take a look back and rank the top 10 players in each position. This is something I did throughout the season last year, and if you want to see the full list and more, you can head on over to my Instagram at SportsButCasually. And with the shameless self-promotion aside, let's get into the top 10 point guards of the 2022-23 season, Part 1. Of course, when making a list as massive as this one, I had to have my own criteria to decide who ranked where. So I used each player's traditional and advanced stats, the good old eye test, and of course my own personal preference and opinions. And all it took for a player to qualify to make the list is for them to play a minimum of 1,640 minutes for the season. They must have spent majority of their minutes this season playing the point guard position, obviously. And just one quick reminder, this is just based on their regular season performance. Now with all the rules out of the way, we can now start off our list with number 10, Ja Morant.
My city, yeah.
The NBA's deadliest shooter followed up his second team All-NBA campaign last year with a bit of a down year, but this so-called down year was still sensational and electrifying. He relentlessly and fearlessly attacks the paint with his trademark athleticism, to go along with his 7 triple-doubles, which just goes to show that Morant is one of the most entertaining players to watch. If it wasn't for his suspension, he might have been even higher on the list. And with him suspended to start next season, it will be interesting to see how Memphis fares without him. Making our way out east to the Empire State, where number 9, Jalen Brunson, almost single-handedly gave the Knicks fans hope once again. And who could blame them, honestly? In his first season in the orange and blue, Brunson set career highs in almost every single major statistical category while maintaining his trademark efficiency. Despite most fans and so-called analysts calling him overpaid last offseason, Jalen Brunson, with all the weight and expectations on his shoulders, was able to take command of this team and lead them back to the playoffs and to their most amount of wins since the 2012-13 season. So let's hear it for New York. Heading out to the land, where Darius Garland cracks his way to the top 10 by replicating his All-Star campaign last season. Despite not receiving that accolade this time around, there's no doubt that Garland will make more in the future, with him setting a career high in three-point percentage and yet another top 10 finish in assists per game. Many questioned his role and fit alongside his new backcourt teammates Donovan Mitchell, but those two seemingly go together like peanut butter and jelly. And with Garland's excellent play, the Cavs finally made their way back to the playoffs without LeBron, the first time since 1998. I guess that's not too bad for the former worst player in the NBA. Staying over in the East, and we move over to one of the most well-rounded point guards in the league, number 7, Jrue Holiday. With majority of his numbers taking a slight dip this season, he did take on more offensive responsibility with the Bucks, which saw him have his best offensive season since the 18-19 campaign, but also saw him return to the All-Star game for the first time since he was in Philly during the 2012-13 season. And yes, he remained one of the best defenders at his position and was even named to his third straight All-Defensive team and remains one of the most feared players to be matched up with, at least according to his peers. Rounding out the bottom 5, we go to Indiana, where number 6, Tyrese Haliburton, almost single-handedly turned around the fate of the Indiana Pacers. He led the Pacers in assists, points, and steals, broke the franchise records for assists per game in a season, and became the first player in NBA history to average 20 and 10 on 40% shooting from 3. And to top it off, he was named to his first ever All-Star game. With this being his third straight season of shooting over 40% from 3, I guess it's still unclear if his jump shot will ever translate to the NBA. And that's going to do it for the first half of my 2022-23 top 10 point guard list. What do you think of the guys that made the first 5 entries? Or do you think that should have been higher or lower? And who do you think the next 5 point guards are going to be? As always, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.